I need to make sure I get it right. It's Adelsheim.
Nope. There's no SH in German. So it has to be Adelsheim.
Adelsheim.
Yes.
Adelsheim.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's not even close, but I did it.
No, you were very close, except for seeing an SH together, which
Yeah, sure.
for any American means sh.
Yeah, well, of course.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
what we are.
yeah.
Are you first generation? Okay.
I don't know when these people, I think it was like the 1840s or 50s. I didn't actually know them.
Well, considering that period of time, it's good you didn't know them. Okay, we're going to be serious here now.
Okay.
We're going to talk about wine and be very serious.
Okay.
I'm here with David Adelsheim.
Yes, you are.
I swallowed the S. You may have noticed that.
No, it's supposed to be with the first half.
Okay.
Adels.
Right. Adelsheim.
Yes. Flip-flop stop.
We're just going to talk about the name. We're not going to talk about
I think
wine.
that's good. I think this has been one of the greatest interviews I've ever had to give.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I got to go now. Bye. So, you are the pioneer, one of the pioneers of Oregon wine. And it's a real honor, by the way, to talk to you because anybody who starts in the wine business has got to be half crazy and half genius, wouldn't you say?
Well, I'll go with the first half. Yeah, I'm not so sure about the second half. I mean, do remember it was the early 70s, and people were doing things mostly to piss off their parents, or, I mean, it was sort of a revolution in society, and baby boomers sort of did that, whether it was in computers or in food or in wine.
And that was really the birth of it all here, right?
Yeah.
What year would that have been?
Well, we started in 71 buying a piece of property, but we were the, I don't know, 7th or 8th vineyard planting and the 8th or 9th winery. But obviously we wouldn't know that there would be 900 plus wineries in Oregon and 700 plus in the Willamette Valley when we started. I mean, you just couldn't understand what our nominal and very modest success would bring.
Well, and even funnier than that, when you say modest success, I mean, that was at a time when American wine wasn't even on the map.
That's correct. American fine wine really started to be put on the map in the 60s. It's not that there wasn't fine wine before, and there certainly were the BVs of the world and the Inglenooks and so forth, but the idea that America would make great wine trying to be at the level of the French, let's say, nobody would have had the guts to say something like that until Mondavi said it. And not that we were looking to Robert Mondavi to set our future for us, but it resonated, I think, with all of us, not just in Oregon, but all up and down the West Coast and probably beyond, that we should not be just trying to make money or just experimenting with grapevines. We should be trying to make great wine. And one of the great things about the Willamette Valley is that from the beginning, our focus was great wine. We knew that we had a cool climate. We knew that limited what grape varieties we could plant. None of us had money, so we knew that we had to collaborate with each other, or we couldn't hope to ever achieve anything. And so all of that, though, was founded on this premise, or was based on this premise, that we were setting out to make great wine in a place that nobody had any knowledge of or any idea that you could do that.
I think what makes the difference in making wine is when you say you set out to make great wine. You weren't out to just make wine. You wanted to make great wine. That separates you from a different mentality.
Well, I think it did, and I think it's important to remember that because we were all sort of latent hippies, if you will, nobody set out to do this to make money. This was not an economic adventure. This was to make great wine. And that was really the underlying most important goal. And everything else was in service to that. The grape varieties we planted, the fact that we collaborated, the fact that we ended up being each other's best friends, in essence. That all was a result of sharing this vision that it was really about making great wine.
This is my first trip to Oregon, and this has been a real pleasure as well as an
Well, they finally lowered the visa requirements, so they're letting pretty much anybody in now.
Thanks, David.
This is very exciting.
No. But I mean, for me, this is great to be able to see this because I'm a fan of the wines. The idea of doing the auction, and it's a brave thing to go to this idea and start creating an auction. It's your third year. You got to feel really good about that.
Yeah. No, I think we had batted around the idea of doing a trade auction, and knew that it could be successful theoretically. One of the questions that always had bothered me is when important people around the country and even beyond asked, well, when should we come to Oregon? And I couldn't really give them an answer other than a weather answer. Now we have this built-in answer. Mr. Retailer in Virginia, you should come for this auction, because you get to meet everybody in the course of 2 days, everybody who's anybody, and you get to have a hell of a lot of fun. And it all goes to give money to marketing Willamette Valley wines and to make this even better.
And also to see a really beautiful part of the country.
And you can do that along the way. And you could have a storm of the century while it's going on.
Yes, like the wind outside today.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
David, you are fabulous to talk to. You've got such a great sense of humor, and you radiate passion and life. I hope you guys do very well with this auction.
Thank you.
And I hope your wine does very well, too.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to chat today, and would invite anybody who looks at this to come out and see for yourself if you haven't been here. It's actually a pretty fun place to be.
I agree. And one last question for our listeners. Your website, how would they find out about you?
Amazingly enough, it's Adelsheim.com.
How did you come up with that idea?
I don't know. It just was one day we said, throw all the letters of the alphabet out and then take some out.
This has been a real pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks so much. I really appreciate it, Ray.